Hello and welcome to BISP Solutions. My name is Ankita and today we are going to start with the Calculation Manager basics. So we will first have a quick introduction with the Calculation Manager. So we use Oracle Hyperion Calculation Manager to create, validate, deploy and launch calculations that solve business problems. We can create the following types of objectives in our calculations. So the first one is the rules, second is the rule sets, third is the components, and fourth is the templates. So we will have an introduction with the rules. So this object contains components, templates, and other rules. Second one is the rule set. As the name itself suggests, it contains two or more business rules that can calculate simultaneously and sequentially. The third one is the component. This object contains formulas, scripts, conditions, members, and data ranges. Then fixed loops and design time prompts. Components are not deployable. Then the last one we have is the template. So this object that we can use in business rules to perform a calculation or a set of calculation. Then we will first know the in which all applications we use the services of the calculation manager. First one is the enterprise planning and budgeting cloud, which is also called as EPBCS. Second one is the planning and budgeting cloud, PBCS. Then the third one is the financial consolidation and close clouds, FCCS. Now we will now understand the views that we can see in the calculation manager. So views basically allow us to see the calculation manager objects in different contexts. So here we have four views with us. First one is the system view, second custom view, third deployment view, and fourth one is the filter view. So system view system view is a default view which displayed when we launch the calculation manager. It lists all the applications and objects to which we can have access. Then the second one is the custom view. This creates folders and add objects to the folders to create a view that is meaningful to us. The third one is the deployment view. List by application type and application the rules and rule sets that are deployable and their deployment and validation status. We can select what rules and rule sets to make deployable and then deploy the objects to the application. The last one is the filter view, where we can filter the objects that are displayed. Now we will understand why the designing of business rule is important. As previously I have explained, Oracle Hyperion Calculation Manager enables us to create, validate, deploy, and administer sophisticated multi-dimensional business rule. You can typically create business rules to allocate cost among the entities, then model revenues, model expenses, prepare a balance sheet, calculate a cash flow, calculate currency translation adjustments, calculate groups and minority interest, and calculate deferred taxes. Many other business rules can be created into the application as per the requirement and the customization of the entity, of the clients. Okay, so now we will first move to the instance, and we will first have a quick introduction with the basics business rules. So in this instance I will first go to the navigator, Then I will click on rules and create and manage. Okay, so here, as I have already explained you, we have a default view as system view. Under this select view option, we have custom view, deployment view, and filter view. Okay, now here I am going to select the application as vision, and here I have the rule sets, plan 1, plan 2, and all the cubes are visible to us. Here I am going to select plan 1. Okay, so now I'm going to write a rule in the plan 1. So I will be selecting the rules in it. Okay, so I will right click on the rule and will click on new. So for example, here I want to calculate a sales tax. I will name it as sales tax rule, and here the application type will be EPM cloud. Application name is vision, and cube here I have selected is plan 1. Okay, now after that I will click on OK. Okay, so now we can add a rule into the application. We have two modes. First is the designer mode, and the second one is the edit script mode, in which we can write the rules. Here I'm going to select the edit script mode. Okay, so here we can see that in our application we have HSP views. So by default, it fixes the base data. So we will first understand the fixed statement. So the uses of fixed statements are being explained to us first. So the fixed statement are used to focus the business rule. Keep the number of blocks being calculated as low as possible to ensure that you can only calculate the required blocks. A fixed statement is recommended for sparse dimension because it reduces the number of blocks that are required for the calculation. Ensure that calculations are done on level 0 of all dimensions if the application design has a bottom-up version setup, which we generally find in the version dimensions. Now, where possible, use outer fixed statement on the sparse dimensions and inner if statement on dense dimensions. All fixed statement should include member from all dimensions other than those within the calculations. If a dimension is excluded, all members from that dimensions are included. This may be unnecessary. So here I will do a calculation of sales tax. Okay, so first I will go to the dimension and I will see whether I have a member name sales tax. Okay, so here I will click on sales. Okay, so we do not have here sales tax, so I will create a member here as sales tax first. Then I will write a rule to calculate the sales tax. So here I am going to add one more member as the sibling 7940 and name it as sales tax. So this is an expense, time balance, store. Okay, after that I will save it and then refresh the database. Now I will calculate the sales tax here. Before that, I'm going to fix few of these past dimensions. So for plan 1, I will be selecting the entity here. So I'm going to fix entity 110. Product as 310. Then here I will be selecting plan scenario, working version, and year is FY24. Every fix end with the end fix. Okay, so here I have mentioned it. After that, here I am going to write the formula, which will be selecting from the account dimension. So here I will be selecting 7940 as the target. Then here I will select the revenue. So here I am going to calculate the revenue for hardware. So it is 4110, which will be multiplied with the 10%. So how we will be write it as 0.0 or 0.10. After that we will put a semicolon, which shows that this formula ends here. Okay, so now I will first validate and save it. Okay, so now the rule is being validated without any errors. Now I will deploy the rule. Before launching the rule, I will first create a smart view connection, and I will first mention the members. Okay, so for that, okay, yeah, here I will be selecting Excel. It is taking some time to open the file. Let me do it once more. Okay, so now I am going to create a smart view connection in a blank workbook. Okay, now here I will select the base data as for HSP view, plan for scenario, version will be working, product is P_110, entity is going to be 100, sorry, it's 110. Let me see it once more, check it whether the entity name is correct or not. Okay, yeah, it's correct. So the entity name we have been selecting here is 110. Here is FY24, then period is going to be Jan. And the account number that we will be selecting here as 4110. 4110. then 7940. After that, I will refresh the sheet. Okay, so here I'm going to give the revenue as 45,000. Then I will submit it and I will launch the business rule, which we can also do from the smart view. So here I'm going to select it as sales tax rules. Okay, now I will launch it. So business rule has been successfully completed. So here we can see that the 10% sales tax is being calculated. Okay, so this is how a simple business rule works. So this we have understood with the help of the fixed statement. Now we will understand how the if statement works in the business rule. These two are the basics of the business rule. So that is why we will be first understanding the fixed statement and the if statement. So if a statement can be used in the member formula, fixed cannot. Okay. If a statement should be used within fixed statement to reduce the number of blocks that are to be assessed. The fixed statement brings all blocks within the fix into memory. Where possible, use outer fixed statements on sparse dimensions and inner if statement on dense dimensions. Use else instead of a combination of not and else if, where possible to avoid unnecessary analysis of member values during the calculation. Do not use an else statement if it is not required. Review the calc member block choice to determine if you can use a sparse member without dynamic calc dependencies. So here I am going to make a little changes into this. So here I won't be fixing the product. Instead, here I'm going to use an if function. Okay. So here the if function, so the member block will be created with the name 7940. And here I will open the parenthesis. Then in the fourth line, I will mention the fixed statement. So fixed statement is being used with is member. Okay, I will explain you the use of is member. And here I will be selecting the product as 110. Okay. After that, here I will mention and if, and then parenthesis close. First, let me show you the use of @is member function into the application. Okay. So the is member calculation function for space test whether a member is a match for any of the specified members in that particular dimension. So for example, here we have taken the product as P underscore 110. So this is a specified member from the product dimension. This function returns true if the current member being calculated matches any one of the specified member within a list or range. Okay, so the syntax of @is member is member name or range list or the member list. So here we are considering only the member name. Okay, so if the condition, that is the product is P underscore 110 is true, then only this this formula, this business rule will take place. So for that I will first validate and save it. Now my rule is being validated without any errors. Now I will then validate and deploy it. Okay, now I'm going to connect. Okay, now I will view this in the smart view. So let me change the value over here as $100,000, and the sales will be hashtag missing. Okay, now submit it. Now I will calculate the rule. So here I am going to launch the rule for plan 1. So I will deselect other cubes, and here I will be selecting the sales tax rules. So the rule is being launched. I will refresh this sheet, and here we got the end result as sales tax 10,000. Okay, so this is how the business rule basically works for with if and fixed statement. Okay, now I'm going to create another rule, and with the attribute attribute function. So here I will write a rule with the attribute function. Okay, so rule attribute is the name of the new rule. I'm going to write a rule in the edit script mode. Okay, so here I will first fix the dimensions as product as P underscore 110, entity as 110, scenario as plan, financial year as FY23, entity product scenario version as working. Okay, now I will write the end fix. So here I will select the member from the account dimension first. So here I am going to calculate a salary of the employees. Okay, so how we will be doing that is, here we are going to calculate the salary 5800 member with the help of these drivers. So the drivers are the 9,000, which is the head count, and 9,800, which is the average salary. Okay, so here I will write the target, mention the target as 5,800, which is the salary expense, 9,800, and the 9,000. Okay. Now I will first let you know the use of the attribute function. So the attribute calculation functions for S-based returns base member associate with an attribute. This function lists all base members that are associated with the specified attribute member. This function can be used as a parameter of another functions where that parameter is a member or list of members. So the syntax is @attribute and the attribute member. Okay, so here we have the attribute dimension and the entity dimension. Okay, so I'll show you. So our attribute dimension name is as market size, and when we expand it, we have its members as large market, medium market, and a small market. So in the given case, I'm going to fix @attribute as large market. So I will copy the name from here as it will reduce the possibility of error. Okay, I will then save and validate the rule. Then I will deploy the rule. After deployment, I will go to the smart view connection and will open in another sheet. So here it is gonna be HSP view as base data, scenario as plan, version as working, product as P underscore 110, year as FY 23, period as September. Okay, now I'm going to select the accounts here. So 9800, 9000 and 58 is our target member. Okay, now here I will select the member as 100. Okay, so we'll be having the descendants of it. Okay, so here 9000 5800, and I will copy this in these two columns. Okay, now I will give input in average salaries. Okay, so average salary is gonna be $10,000 and the head count is going to be 10, 15, there is some problem. I have to open another Excel sheet. Okay, so here we have. Okay, now I will connect with the smart view first. Okay, now I will name all the members first. Scenario as plan, version as working, product as P 110, account as 9800, 9000, 5800, which is a target member. Okay, now comes the FY23 financial year. Then the month is going to be September. I will now copy it and then refresh it. Okay, now here my entity is going to be 100 and its descendants. Now the average salary is going to be $10,000 for all the entities. Okay, the head count is going to be 10, 12, 15, 20, 15, and 16. Okay, now I will submit it. So the business rule will only be run for all the members whose attribute dimensions are a large market. So here I will select the rule attribute. Okay, now I will refresh it. See, the rule is being run only for facility resources, East region resources, and computer resources. So I'll show you the attribute dimensions that they have. 110 has the large market as the attribute dimension, which is a facility resources. Then comes the East region resources, which is also a large market, and computer resources whose attribute whose market size is also large market. Okay, I will also show you the other one so that you can understand. So for the case 140, we can see that the market size was a small market, and that is why the rule did not run for that particular case. So you might be thinking that why we are doing this attribute dimensions, we are making use of attributes for planning. So basically sometimes it requires for us to plan according to the attributes of the business, the entities. Okay, so with that also we can make the planning. For example, here we can see that we are particularly planning only for the large market. Okay, so this is how basically we make use of attributes to calculate the business rules and plan accordingly. So I think that's all for today. Thank you, and for any more queries, please feel free to ask on www.bispsolutions.com.